Morning. This is Nita with the Timepiece Garden. Panda is on up the hill. Yeah, sun's not even over the mountain yet. See, it's early. And I'm gonna come look in the greenhouse. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Let me get in here and close the door. Alright, so, again, it's 28 degrees outside, according to the weatherman. It's chilly in here, I won't lie. That's what the greenhouse does, but if you look at my waters, no ice on them. None of them are frozen. And at 28 degrees, they should be frozen, or at least have a little bit of ice layering across the top, and they don't. And then if you look where I did the extra layer of plastic, it's even got condensation on it. On the inside. From where the ground, hey, focus, there you go. You know those little starter trays that you get from like Walmart or one of the box stores? They, not that I'm advertising for Walmart, but they do the same thing when you put the little plastic lid on them. They hold the heat in and they keep the moisture in for the plants themselves. And it's doing it on both sides. So now today we're supposed to get up to 55. So when I come home from the gym, I will end up taking the plastic off the sides. And I'm just going to kind of lay it over towards the back. Because again, in 2 days, we're supposed to get snow. And then the day after that, we're supposed to go down to like 18 or 14 again. It's supposed to be a little cold snap. So I will end up laying it back on it. But being that like we're going to get to 55 today, I can't. It has to come off. They have to be able to breathe. Because 55 outside makes it 65 in here. Makes it 75 in there or more. Does that make sense? It pluses up exponentially. And then the other thing it does is now the sunlight has to go through 2 sets of plastic, so the plants actually get less light, even though they get more heat. So, anyway, they'll get a break today. Take the plastic off. Put it back on in a couple of days. Alright, just figured I'd share. 28 degrees. No ice. Gotta love a hoop tunnel. Talk to you later. So just a quick show. This is the one tub I have that's outside. And you can see the ice lines across the top. Say it's cold. 28 degrees will freeze water. Alright, talk to you later. So Panda wanted to come out. She's like, look, Mom, the crocus is in bloom. Look, this pretty. Hi, Bear Bears. I know Mama sees him, huh? I know Mama sees him. I know, I see the girl. All they needed was a sunny day. They said, booyah. Alrighty, home from my errands. It's 51 degrees outside. We will be above freezing tonight. So the easiest way to say it is right now I'm going to leave the door open because I've got some work I got to do outside. And I'm going to leave the door open and let it air out in here. And then close it up before I go in the house. Again, it's quite warm in here right now. I went ahead and I've already taken off the second layer of plastic. I've got it laying outside to dry. I'll fold it up and put it away, when it's appropriate. Beyond that, we're good, All the plants, there's radishes, everybody's doing great. Got the plastic laid out just so I can go ahead and dry. It's got a lot of water condensation on it. So I lay it out, let it dry a little. That way I can roll it up and put it away. So, talk to any of you. Alright, so I'm in the workshop. Mostly because between the errands and stuff that I had to run after I worked out, by the time I got home and actually ate lunch, it was like 1:30. So, and then I got to do dishes afterwards and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's late enough in the afternoon that I don't want to start a big project. But I do want to do something, for lack of better words. What can I get done while I still have, nice 52-degree temperatures on a light breezy day? And most of that is coming to the workshop because it's warmer in here. I'm out of the wind, out of the breeze. Whew. And then I have 2 options. I can either try and build another arch like that. I can build the A-frame, and that's probably what I'm going to do, and I'll talk about that in a second. Or I can work on making my tri-screen with my pieces there. I'm leaning towards the A-frame because I need to get it marked on property where I need to put the swell, and to do that I need to do it on contour. So that's probably what I'm going to build, is the A-frame. Basically, it looks like an A, but it's made so when you cross think of a capital A and you cross the bar, does that make sense? The level should be level like this. And then as you'd like mark this end, and then you literally swing it around to the other side over there, and when it's level, you mark it. So you'd end up with 3 marks: a left, a right, and then the next left, and the next left, and the next left. And it follows the land contour. It makes it so the water that the swell will hold fills out level across the swell, so it evenly waters the plants. Again, I'll talk more about that when I actually go to do it, because that way I can explain it. But to do it, I got to build the A-frame, and I've not done that yet. So, kind of looking at my scraps, what I have. I'm not going to use this one because of the cracks and stuff that's in it. Well, at least for here in the workshop. So that might be a good piece for an A-frame. Got this one here that's only half high. That might be a good one to actually do the cross piece. And then this one here. So I've got 3 pieces I can do it with. I don't want to use these 3. These 3 are really good pieces. And I want to use them on the walls. So anyway, I think I have enough. So let me get to work and I'll show you when I'm done. All right, there it is, A-frame. And it does. It just looks like a large capital A. 2 legs across the bottom. I put a screw in here in the top. It does move left to right, but it's not going to right now because these screws here on the sides are in. All right. So the first thing you do is you put your 2 screws here on top, and you kind of open it. And you open it so you can see that the inside corner is what's touching the ground. And it's the same on both legs. It is the inside corner that touches the ground, not the outside corner, which is fine. From that moment, all measurements have to come from the inside corner. And if you look, there's a little pencil mark. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. Hang on just a second. I did it for the wood, not for the level. There's a little wood. Focus. There you go. See the little pencil mark? Kind of right there. Does that make sense? It's a perfect 3 feet. I did the same thing on the other side. And you have to do that from the inside corner because that's what's going to make the measurement. Now, I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to tie that back on there. Hang on just a second. All right, I'm back. Did you miss me? Okay, so what happens is when the A-frame is setting level, left side is equal to the right side. Does that make sense? Your level bubble is center. So in the workshop, I'm going to zoom out now. There, from roughly the center of the workshop to about where I put the stairs, the ground is level. Now when I go to measure outside, what you'll do is you'll mark that corner. Does that make sense? And you mark this corner. That makes sense. I'm going to use flags, and we'll do that when I actually get out there. But then you spin that corner of the A-frame. Oops, without moving the other side. Sorry, it moved it. I'm trying to not trash my chime in here. All right, but you move it. Should you move it in a straight line? There you go, roughly. Does that make sense? If you look, my bubble's not center anymore. It's actually telling me that what was the left side is much higher, well, just a little higher than what is now the right side. Does that make sense? As I moved it on, and I know that this corner here, and that's why I showed it, tends to sink down. Isn't that awesome? Now, when you're making a swell, which is like a depression or a ravine for a water catchment for a garden, does that make sense? This is bad. This means that all the water will puddle to the low side, which on this would be the right. Does that make sense? And so you're not going to get an even water distribution. Makes sense? So it becomes really important that you sit here and move this right side left and right, until that gets back center again. Again, when I go to do it outside, I'll show you. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right, talk to you in a few. All right, hopefully you can see it. The sun's kind of in the wrong position, but if you see in the center about where the tripod is-ish, the fence dips down. I have water when we have good rainstorms that comes through the garden right there. And it kind of follows that shadow, and it goes out right about where this little raised bed ends. And is where it goes out and it continues on down the hill. So, and what I mean by going on contour is I want to catch the water. I want to catch that water, and I want to make it go even from the left to the right. Does that make sense? And then continue on down its path when there is too much rain without washing it out. To do that, the swell has to be on contour. It means it's got to be even with the land. So what I'm going to do now is I've got the A-frame out here, and I've got some flags that I'm going to go ahead and mark it, but not the final marking. I'm going to kind of mark it above the black plastic, because the black plastic is about where I need it to go, but I guarantee it's not going to be straight. So I'm going to mark above the black plastic just so you can see kind of what on contour is, because it's going to follow the land. All right, talk to you in a minute. All right, just in case I didn't say it before, this is again a practice swell. This is not going to be its final location. I want it more in the black plastic. I just know it won't be straight. With the snow coming in the next couple of days, I'm not going to dig it. Now, today, does that make sense? But if you look, you can see the little red flags. See the little red flags sticking up. Yay! Red flags, aren't they awesome? All right, and you can kind of look and see them down the line. I know the sun's not in the right place for this video. So having said that, because they're in a line now, now you can tell where the contour goes. If you look, these two or three flags here are really close to the black plastic. By the time you get to the middle, where the water actually comes down by the tripod, the flag is all the way over there on the left side. Come on, focus camera. Just see how it goes. It kind of starts there at the, where's my finger? There you go. Starts there at the gate, and then comes all the way up over here, and then comes back down to the black plastic. What that V is, that's where the water comes down. That's where the dip is in the ground. Does that make sense? And what I want is the water to come in off of that top flag there. Where's my finger? There's my finger. Yeah, the water to come in off of that flag. That makes sense? And then equally distribute to the left and right sides. So, and we'll talk more about that when I actually go to dig it, because then it's like 2 feet deep, 2 feet wide, and all the dirt that you put out, you flip over on the right-hand side. So you end up with a 4-foot deep hole basically, but it's a ravine, but it's level. So the water comes down, it fills both sides, left and right, and that way the water can seep into the ground and then soak down the hill and water everything on the hillside. You see it a lot in trees, in orchards. I've got the elderberries here on the top that will benefit from having, water here, because over time the elderberries were self-spread, or I will spread them. I've already got 2 more that I'm going to plant, so I will have just elderberries up here. And then the bottom half will be annual garden. Maybe a mulberry tree or 2. We'll see. Anyway, things that will benefit from having the water. Because again, long term, this is annual garden right now, but long term, this is going to be an orchard. Long term, the annual garden is in that mess over there. But do with, what I can do with what I have. So get the swell in, get the annual garden going. Flags are marked. So anyway, you can tell by the little shadows. It's starting to cool off a little. I can feel it. I knew I wasn't going to get a lot done. But this is cool. This is awesome. And I will talk to you later.